Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your monthly horoscope. And this one is for you, Aries. As we're heading into December, the sun will be shining in Sagittarius all the way through the 20th, forming a favorable trine to your sun. And now that your ruling planet of Mars is moving forward in your sign of Aries, you're really probably going to feel extra energy and motivation this month. This will probably sound like good news to not just Aries, but a lot of people who have felt bogged down by the retrograde heavy year of 2020. And by that I mean we had not just our usual Mercury retrogrades, but we also had a Venus retrograde back in May and June, and we are finally coming out of this Mars retrograde that dominated our fall from September the 9th all the way through November 13th. So this is the month to make a plan of action, solidify your goals, and we've got a powerful new moon solar eclipse that is perfect for big picture intention setting. This is going to happen on December 14th at 23 degrees of Sagittarius. This forms a favorable trine to your sun, and if you were born on or around April 13th of any year, or if you have around 23 degrees of Aries rising, you're going to have extra support for intentions at this new moon. But this new moon solar eclipse is powerful for everybody because when a new moon is combined with a solar eclipse, it gives more oomph, shall we say, for your intentions. It's more about what will unfold in the coming 6 months versus just the next moon cycle. So definitely think big. Aries are going to have extra support for intentions that involve adventurous new beginnings and higher education. Perhaps there's some training you've been considering getting. Perhaps you're just ready for a change of pace in your life and just need to start over in some way. This is the time to really start thinking about how you could make that happen. And likely you've been thinking about it during the retrogrades, which was a great time for research. Finally, we're entering the part of the year where it can be a time for action, which is such good news for Aries who love to take action, as we know. I am also an Aries. So Venus is going to move into Sagittarius on the 15th of December. It's going to remain in this sign through January the 7th. During these days, you'll likely find some reward for teaching or learning. It's also a good time to cultivate some optimism in your relationships. And if you're single, you could attract someone special who helps you to see the world in a new way. Venus in Sagittarius is all about expanding our horizons. Now we've got Saturn moving into Aquarius on December 17th. This is a big deal. Saturn only changes signs about every 2.5 years. And a couple days later, Jupiter moves into Aquarius on the 19th. And Jupiter changes signs annually. It's in a sign for about 12 months. But it's rare they're actually coming together in a conjunction. I have a whole other video on the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction here on this channel. But for this horoscope, just know on December 21st, Saturn and Jupiter are going to be exactly conjunct, initiating a 20-year cycle focused on your ability to connect with the people around you. Networking and teaming up with others in your community will probably be a huge focus. So it doesn't mean this is going to be what you do every day for the next 20 years. But I think if you look at trends as far as what you're leaning towards, gravitating towards, it's going to be more about groups and networking initiated by this conjunction. If you've been kind of a lone wolf, you may want to consider reaching out and branching out, trying to make connections with different types of people. It's going to be enriching and help move you towards success. Now, these planets are forming a favorable sextile to your sun. This is Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius. This is encouraging you to embrace your unique qualities and respect the diversity of the people around you. Aquarius is all about keeping it weird. In the coming year, Saturn in Aquarius can help you to prioritize your big picture goals and gain more clarity about ways to contribute to your community when you free yourself from irrational fear. And you've got some innate gifts to share with others. Jupiter is going to also bring you some luck and opportunity when you adopt more of an open mindset, a willingness to jump in and learn, to break free from the way things have always been done. So keep that in mind rather than being bound to tradition. It's much more coming up on a year of trial and error. So to find out more about how some of these outer planets affect your sun sign coming up in 2021, I've prepared sun sign reports that are now available on the Jan Spiller site. And so check out the link for that up in the description of this video, and you can find out a lot more about some of the themes and opportunities coming up for you based on my study of the outer planets and how they interact with Aries and Aries rising people. Now on December 21st, we're going to experience the winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, and of course the summer solstice in the southern hemisphere. Each year at this December solstice, the sun ingresses into Capricorn, providing an excellent opportunity to assess and appreciate your current situation. So it's possible that you'll be feeling some extra pressure to achieve a goal, and without challenges or pressures, you might have lacked the motivation to move forward. So when you feel certain types of pressure, it's not always negative. It's more like you're getting a fire lit under you, and maybe there's an external circumstance, a deadline, some opportunity that requires you to hustle that could feel like a challenge in the moment, but you're really grateful that it came along because it's getting you to do something you've been wanting to do. So that's kind of how Capricorn astrology can work, especially for Aries people. Now, this month's full moon on the 29th will be at 8 degrees of Cancer, highlighting your family relationships as well as emotional and material security. This full moon will square your sun, and if you were born around March 29th of any year, you might feel this more than other Aries, or if you're an Aries rising with around 8 degrees of Aries, this full moon squares your ascendant. Take it easy on yourself. Make time at this full moon to acknowledge and honor how you feel, and consider doing a ritual to help you release any tendencies to cling to the past. That's a really good one for the Cancer full moon. You can feel a lot lighter once you've let some of this stuff come to the surface, so you can let it go. So I hope you can make the most of December's astrology. Be safe and be well, and I look forward to continue bringing your horoscopes to you in 2021.